Hey guys, welcome back to another JFP podcast. Today we have the very talented one and only Logan Anderson. How you doing today, Logan?
How are you doing?
Good, man. Good, good.
Good. No, thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it. I'm excited to be on here after listening to everything.
Yeah, of course. To start it off here, what got you into paintball? How did you start playing paintball?
Well, I'm one of the rare breeds. I like to say I was born into it and born to play. So I actually grew up around the paintball fields and paintball tournaments and stuff like that with my dad playing. Like my dad played way before I was born and way into even now, even though he doesn't play as much now, but like he's the one that really kind of sparked everything for me and getting into that. So I've been playing paintball since I was 9, but mentally I've been playing for 22 years. I like to say that at least. So, and I mean, there's pictures of me at his paintball tournaments. Even there's even a baby picture of me where I'm wearing a paintball mask when he was working at Splat Your Out, way back in the day when I was a baby. So, but I grew up around like the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s paintball scene in Minnesota with and just hearing about it. Like they used to have paintball leagues like every Thursday. You'd be like, oh, let's go to the indoor place, and we gotta play our two games against a team, and then go home. And it's like, oh, I wish we had paintball leagues still to this day, like just weekly things instead of just on the weekends.
Right, that'd be a lot of
That's kind of
fun.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff with that. Like, and just like the Polar Bear series was huge. Like when the original Xbox came out, like they were sitting there and like giving away Xboxes to people like as prizes, and just giving away like Xboxes to like people in the crowd and stuff like that. It was such a cool environment and like cool experience to be around. And like a lot of like where those Polar Bear tournaments were like is currently where Twin Cities Airsoft is. So it's that Baldwin location there. So it's still owned by Darren Johnson, the owner of Splat Tag and stuff like that. He owns that location out there too, to where
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of paintball history out there, but it has since switched over to more like of an airsoft focus.
Oh wow.
Gotcha.
What rank did your dad get to?
So it was ranked differently back then, I think it was pro, amateur, and novice. He played a lot of amateur. But prior to me being born, he was going to go try out with Texas Storm, Dyslexic Turtles, which are both like professional teams back in the day. And for quite some time, like he was regarded as one of the best back players in Minnesota during that time period.
Damn,
Your dad's
that's
name?
huge.
Todd Anderson is him. I mean, probably most well known for playing on the Minnesota Lost Boys with like Gino, Josh Johnson, and Devin, and like there's a couple other names in there like Paul, Brittany, although they're Disorderly Conduct, which was a sister team to the Lost Boys.
So does that have any relationship to the MN Lost Boys at Air Assault Factory?
Nope, nope. They are two completely separate. At least to my knowledge, are two completely separate. The Lost Boys that my dad played for, they started in the '90s and were a team for a very long time. Like they even played like some of the VPSs, the Vintage Paintball Series tournaments there. And I'm trying to think, that team: Paul, my dad, Josh Johnson, Devin, Vince. I can't tell you his last name, but he was the owner of Northside Sports and Hinckley Paintball. He was a big thing. He funded a lot of teams and went and played a lot of national events and played semi-pro back in the day.
That's awesome.
Damn.
hmm
I was gonna ask you two questions. When and what was your first? When and what was your first paintball marker? When did you get it?
So, geez. So, I mean, if you look at it two different ways. So, I got my first paintball marker probably when I was like 3, because I used to when my dad would work at the paintball field, which is SYO, the indoor field. He I would sit there, and when games weren't being played on the field, I would take one of the rental guns and just run around the field and act like I was playing paintball. And I did that for many years. So eventually they're just like, he can keep it. So it's like this really old Spider, and it's a rental, and it has SYO engraved into it, which I actually, believe it or not, I actually still have it like to this day. It doesn't work. It hasn't worked for a very long time. It hasn't worked for a very long time just because, me and my dad work on paintball guns, being like, oh, I can do that. So 6-year-old me here is taking apart a paintball gun, and it's like, oh, I lost a part. I don't remember how to put this back together. So it kind of just went from there. But then like my first paintball marker for when I actually played was a WGP War Machine. So it was a mechanical gun, kind of super basic. I mean, it looked freaking sweet. I actually still have that thing too. Where again, young me is like, oh, I'm gonna take it apart and see if I can put it back together. And I got kind of good at it. Then I started taking it more apart, and then I lost parts, and now it's kind of semi-complete, but not working. And then my first tournament gun was a Shocker NXT.
Okay.
I wish I still had that thing. I loved it, and that's why I recently just got a SFT to kind of fill that gap of like, oh, it's nostalgia. It's it's an old Shocker. It's cool. But that was my first tournament gun was a Shocker NXT. It was silver. It had contract killer grips. It looked sweet. I remember it ripping people and getting ripped with it, but that's how it goes.
Yeah.
So I know that you're a paintball marker connoisseur. Do you want to give
You
a
call it that.
rough estimate of how many markers you got?
Oh geez. So, I mean, if we want to count the two that don't work, which would be the SYO Spider, the War Machine, I have my Shocker NXT, my original Supernova. I have Ion. I have two other Ions that are just donors for the one Ion. So like pretty much parts if anything breaks. I have two more Ions to kind of fall back onto to fix it.
Mhm.
I have an old Nell Splat bolt action little pistol CO2 thing, super old. I think it was originally used to like mark trees with it. I've never shot it. I've never seen it work, but we have it.
Hell yeah.
I have I think an 07 or 08 Ego. I have a pretty much pristine, almost brand new looking DM5. Like that was my dad's tournament gun. That thing, it looks minty. There's maybe one scratch on it, but other than that, it looks brand new.
Oh, nice.
Have an auto mag. I have my PMR, my Proto Matrix Rail. That thing, I traded my Shocker NXT for that, and I've had that for years. What else? I have my CS3 Pro. I have my GOR5. I have my EMEC, my GMEC, and then I have my ETHA 3M. And then I have a Empire Resurrection autococker. I have a Trilogy autococker. I have a 2K4 autococker that's custom half blocked, but it's a pump currently. And I think that's it. That all I can think of right now. So I lost count of how many I had, but that's what I have.
It was well over 10. That's all I know.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So there's a lot of history with it. That's for sure.
Which one of those was your favorite, more nostalgic one? I know you said the Shocker was, but if you had to like bring one out and play with it for a day, you're like, oh man, this is like the coolest thing ever. Which one would you say that is?
Nostalgia wise, because I had the Shocker NXT, it'd be really like, and I just recently got the SFT, so it'd be really cool to play with that. But I'd really want to play with my dad's DM5. I think that'd be kind of cool to bring, old history back of what he used to rip people with and to rip more people with it in the modern era. I think that'd just be really cool to do. So I'd probably have to say the DM5 over the Shocker.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even your dad would probably love to see you go out and just rip a tournament with his old paintball gun.
Yes, yeah. I'm hopefully going to be able to get him out to play.
That'd be sweet.
That would be awesome.
Dude, I want him to play a tournament with me again really bad. Like, give him one last hurrah and like have it be like a national event or something like that. Like, because he never got to play a national event, and it's like I want to give him one last hurrah of like, here you go. Now you can officially retire, and you don't have to like worry about playing again.
Would he actually do it?
Oh yeah, he wants to. Like he'll come to the field and watch me play, and he goes, "Oh, I'm getting the itch again. I really want to get on the field again. Like I see so many things people are doing. It's like, oh, and I see how the field's playing. It's like I know how to play this field already, and I've been here for 10 minutes."
Why doesn't he play?
Just his body. I mean, the last couple times that we've played together, he's gotten hurt, and and he has other hobbies that he likes to do. Like he's really big into competitive shooting and riding motorcycles and stuff like that. So it's kind of taken like his forefront for that. But I want to get him out and have him play and be able to play a tournament with him again.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
Yeah. So you currently play for the Warbirds. When did you join the Warbirds?
So I joined the Warbirds. I think this is my 4th season. Yeah, it's my 4th season with the Warbirds. So about 4 years ago, I played for so many. I shouldn't say played for so many different teams. Well, there's a lot of teams that I've like been around with at least, but yeah, 4 years with the Warbirds now, and I wouldn't change anything.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
What was your
You
first
love
team that
having
you
your-
joined?
So the first team I joined was technically the Minnesota Lost Boys. So I was able to play with them for one event maybe, and then it kind of stopped there. But yeah, the Lost Boys, and then it's just like growing up with that team, like they always considered me part of the team, or like I was like the mascot of the team for that.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
But playing wise more seriously was Twin Cities Faction. So that was actually one of his team, or Josh Conroy and Steve McGuire. It was their team that they had. And I played with Twin Cities Faction for a handful of years.
Hell yeah.
I was gonna say, what position do you typically play?
I'm a jack of all trades. I am comfortable anywhere. As as you've probably heard, like I go where the coach tells me to go.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I love about being, the Warbirds, and we like to preach it, is that there's a lot of us on this team that are comfortable and can play anywhere. Like if we're having a bad day being a one on the other side, we can go try being a one on the others on like the D side or the snake side and maybe still succeed. Or if we need to kind of tone it back, play that 2 or the 3 role on either of D side or snake side. And we're still able to succeed and work together as a team and still like have that mesh that we need to have.
Right. No, that's for sure, man. I mean, I've seen you guys out there switching it up. I mean, playing against us team v team, that some of the practices that we've done that way. I mean, you guys just kill it no matter what you guys play.
And that's the big thing, like we kind of preach on too, is like we want to get outside of our comfort zone while playing. It's like try something new. Like this is practice. Like this is the time to where you can mess up and like take it as a learning experience instead, like versus like being at an event and be like, oh, I want to try this, but I've never done it before. But when there's something a lot larger on the line, at an event, whether it be, if you're on contention of making it to the playoffs or not, or making it out of prelims.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Have you ever had a time during a tournament where you've had to maintenance your gear on the spot?
Like while I'm on the field or
Yeah.
on the field, yes, I have. Because for a long 2 days of play at World Cup, so it was actually just his most recent World Cup, the JT Triad, they are battery hogs. Oh my God. I think after every 2 days of play, I like full days of play, I have to change my batteries in my Triad. Like it just eats through them. But yes, yep. I don't know why. I absolutely love my Triad to death, but it eats batteries like nothing. Oh my gosh.
Interesting.
But yeah, we were sitting. This is on Sunday, so we'd played 5-man the day prior. Didn't do very well. Didn't make it out of prelims. And I had a full day of play on it. So going to 3-man, once we made it out of prelims for that, it was probably, I think because we had to buy to the Ochos. So in the Ochos, the batteries in my Triad died. So I had, I pretty much had a gravity fed gun. Thankfully, it was a 3-on-2 at that point, and we were just like slowly kind of working the field and pinching people out. So I didn't really have to deal with it for too long. But yeah, I had my hopper die midpoint, and I was like, oh shit, I won't be able to shoot 10-2.
That's funny.
Yeah, but it was. But you're sitting there like, oh, is it jammed? And force feds. I mean, I've never had a jam with that Triad, but I was like instantly like the first thing from like going from force feds, like, oh, it's gonna be a rotor jam, isn't it? But nope, just dead.
Yeah, there you go. What's your approach to preventing these types of failures while you're out on the field?
Well, always make sure you have a fresh set of batteries with you, and make sure you know how to change them real quick. But just making sure, I am super anal about checking my gear. Like I'll sit there, whether it's like a day of play or if it's a tournament, I'm sitting there like I'm packed like almost a week prior, and then I'm probably checking over my gear like at least once or twice every single day. Like just I'm super anal. I feel like I'm going to forget something, so I always sit there and like double check, triple check everything and make sure batteries are good, you know, and everything. I have everything that I want or need, and I also have extra stuff. So it's like if something does go wrong, I can just easily swap it and be good to go.
Right, for sure. Always being prepared. And I mean, that helps too, like checking it constantly, like knowing that you have everything in there. You check it another time and you think, oh, maybe I
Maybe I
might
need
need
this.
this.
Right, but even with all that checking, I swear every single time it's like, oh, I feel like I'm still forgetting something. Like there's something that I just wasn't thinking of, and all those times of checking it, just there's something that's not there that should be.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel the same way.
For
It's just
sure.
like I know there's something missing, but you can never put your finger on it.
Right, and I've never had anything missing. Like knock on wood, thank God. But like there's always that feeling where it's like, there's gonna be something I'm gonna need and it's not there for the one time that I need it.
For sure.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that we always try to prevent. So
hmm
it's a game that we always play.
Yeah.
Right. It's also always nice to have that one guy that's over prepared.
Yeah, I'm definitely that guy.
Yeah.
I probably have one of the biggest gear bags on our team. And like
Hell
I
yeah.
know I need a size now, but I have an old school Empire bag that was my dad's from when he was playing. So it's big, but I can fit a lot of stuff in there.
There you go, man. Hey, whatever works for you.
Yes.
How many gear setups do you have?
I have enough stuff to have 4 complete setups. So
Jeez.
I have 4 tanks in hydro. I have 4 loaders, whether it being like an old school Halo to like a rotor, or like controls or my triad. But yeah, I have enough stuff to have 4 complete setups.
Damn.
How do you
Yeah.
keep that all organized? Is it just in a gear bag, or is it just kind of thrown all over the place? Or
In our basement, I've pretty much just apprehended a whole section down there, so there's just paintball stuff like everywhere, and like I have a big paintball bin of like old stuff that's full of old school pods, and then I have my old gear box, so it was like a rolling tote that's full of stuff. And like JT masks that I've never worn and stuff. And then I have my actual gear bag down there. And then there's also just paintball stuff scattered all throughout the house as well.
That's awesome.
gotcha.
Yeah. But organization, there's really no organizing to it unless it's like my current gear bag to where it's like, okay, this is all my modern stuff. This is the stuff that goes with me almost every single time. Everything else is like, okay, I can look at it and be like, all right, I can find it fairly easily for the most part. But
do you have anything that is your like superstition? This is my lucky, headband or something that you always bring with you?
yes, yep. It is my woodland camo bandana that Nick Matthews gave to me, which he older pro player, played for Chicago Aftershock for long number of years. But he gave me when I was on Twin Cities faction. The end of the practice, that he kind of came and like almost had a pro clinic with us, but practiced with us. He gave me his Sandana headband, and I've worn it ever since, and I have never not worn it. But that is like my really big superstition that like I need this headband, otherwise like it's not like, I don't know, so it's like something bad's gonna happen, or like I'm not gonna play well if I don't have it, type of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, and then God, I have a couple superstitions. Like I don't wear gloves now. I used to wear gloves all the time while playing. But I dislocated my very first World Cup I went to. I dislocated my shoulder.
Ooh.
And I was wearing like first World Cup and first point that I ever got to play at a national event. I dislocated my shoulder.
Oh
Damn.
my gosh.
Yeah, didn't stop me from playing the rest of the day though. I still played.
How'd you dislocate your shoulder?
I was diving into the snake, and it was my plant arm. It just I don't know how. I think it's just because I stuck, and it just popped kind of out the front of the socket. So
Ooh.
yeah, that was a fun experience. It thankfully popped back in. Like it was kind of weird because I'm sitting there, I look at my arm, and it's like stuck at an angle, and I got shot because I dove and stuck, and I'm just in the middle of in the middle of nowhere, so I'm getting shot.
Right.
But as soon as I lean in to walk back through the net, it popped back into place.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, that felt weird. But since then, I've never worn gloves while playing.
Damn.
Interesting.
Hmm
I like to wear gloves, well, because I'm a bitch first. But yeah, I just I can't stand when I get shot in my fingers. And
Yeah.
it keeps me a little warm on a cold day because we live in Minnesota. It keeps me a little warm too at the same time. So
Nope, I don't blame you there.
That is true. Last year, our first practice that we had out at Annandale, man, I
Oh
didn't
my
have
God,
gloves. My fingers were killing me the whole
really?
time.
No, I will say I will wear gloves when they're really cold. If it's like close to freezing or below freezing, I'll wear gloves, but like they're the really thin, like mechanics gloves.
Mm-hmm.
yep.
So it's like basically like I'm wearing nothing still.
Right.
But no, that practice was crazy because like all the nets were iced over, so there's just a big ice sheet on all the nets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
What is one of your most memorable moments out on the field?
Out on the field, I probably it'd have to be I had a 1v4 against Havoc at an EXL. That was probably one of the coolest things I've ever done because the last kill I got was a one ball and just super satisfying, like defied odds type of thing. And I love playing it, especially being like a hometown rival essentially. Like it was really really cool to do that, and especially against like knowing that it was good competition as well. Which I mean,
Yeah.
all EXL in general just has really good competition down there. Those events are so much fun to play. But that for sure was definitely like oh my gosh, I just did that, and it got recorded.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. The
Very
announcer
cool.
at the end of it was like, wow.
That's awesome.
Oh, I'll have to send that video your way.
I think I've stated this on the podcast before, but one of the moments I had was also against Havoc. It was a 2-on-1 in the 3-man tournament. And I was
Yeah.
like, and it's not like I'm not in no way, shape, or form am I saying I'm better than the Havoc guys, but it just felt like the moment where you're like, yeah, I fucking did it.
Yeah.
Right? Like I fucking defied odds. And it's like, yes, the huzzah moment.
Exactly. Oh, but yeah, it's funny because we have it both against the same team. I think it's funny.
I think it's like, and I love Havoc. Like, absolutely not throwing any shade at them, but like they're great competition. But it's just like, it's so ironic and it's funny how it's against Havoc.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
And
that
it's so
makes you
much
just feel
better,
better.
right? It's so much better for like a hometown rival. It's like, yes, even better. It's like you'll hear about it at home versus just in Kansas.
Right. Right. That's huge. I mean, I'm sure they've
Coming
got moments against us where they're like,
Oh yeah, 100%.
yeah.
uh, coming from a paintball family, do you have any recommendations for people to like have something on them that's not necessarily required for paintball? So like I'm not talking about loaders or anything, but like
Mhm.
any accessory that you recommend that isn't technically required, but people don't usually think of. Do you have any cool recommendations?
Gosh, really, I mean bare bones and stuff like that, but it's just like the extra step to have like dedicated like clothes for it, something that you wear every single time, so, like kind of get into a routine with that. Like it doesn't have to be paintball gear or something like that, but like dedicated clothes. Like for me, like again, call me superstitious, but like I have dedicated like paintball socks. Like these are the socks that I use while playing paintball. Or like these are like the dedicated shorts that I have like for playing paintball, and then like the dedicated shirts and stuff like that. Which, call me weird, superstitious, whatever. It's just what I do. It's what I like to do. But having that dedicated stuff where it's like, okay, I can use this and I can be wild and rowdy and not worry about it and have those moments, like as a new player, wearing those clothes and layering it. So whether it's like shorts and you have a pair of like sweatpants over it, but like being able to wear that and then have those brave moments where it's like, okay, I'm gonna run down the field. I'm probably gonna get shot, but I have my stuff on, so it's not gonna hurt as much. But like for me, I always wear shorts and a shirt, an undershirt. But other than that, it's really just basic gear, and make sure you're wearing your pants, long sleeve shirt. You can wear a short t-shirt if you're willing, but I will never wear a short sleeve unless I'm wearing my arm pads.
For sure. I mean, some people even wear those like chest protectors.
Yeah, no, I never wore a chest protector. My dad's biggest rule for when I went and played is that he had to shoot me once and I had to not cry for me to play. So, which I mean, look at it, or it's like I get to shoot my son, and he doesn't get to do anything back to me. but that was his and that was like my mom had to go through that. Like my mom had to get shot once, and to be okay with it, to know what it felt like for one, and then being like, okay, I can be okay with getting shot again.
Right.
So that was the end. Going for, because it was my 9th birthday, I want to say, that we went out. I was probably like 8, and I really wanted to go play. He went and shot me, and I was bawling like a little bitch. It was like I wasn't ready, and then I was like, started getting close to that time. I'm like, okay, I want to get shot again. I want to play paintball. So you're sitting there, and I'm scared out of my mind, because he told me, all right, put a mask on, go to the backyard, and turn around. So it's even worse, because you don't get to see it, or think of it better, because
Right.
you're not
worse.
staring at
He's
him.
anticipating it.
Exactly. And he was mean, or call it thankful, but he sent a few balls past me, so just so I could hear the whiz of the ball going right past me.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's
Yep.
messed up.
So then I started running around like a little chicken with my head cut off, but still my back like kind of facing, not towards him, or not facing towards him, so my back is still to him. And he eventually clips me on my shoulder, and then I stop and I go, oh, that wasn't too bad. Dad, shoot me again. So he shoots me square in the back, and I go, oh, that one felt a little bit worse, but I think I could play.
Yeah.
Man, sometimes taking those shots to your lower back in the soft spots, man,
Yeah.
they'll have your eyes watering for a couple seconds.
Oh yeah.
Kidney shot.
Yes, kidneys. I mean, there's some where it's like they'll hurt, and I don't like. I'm so used to it now to where it's like I'm fine with anything. And honestly, I feel like getting shot by an airsoft BB hurts more than getting shot by a paintball.
Damn.
Interesting.
Just because the paintball and impact, it breaks, versus a BB, it just bounces off. So it's like, if you notice, if you get a bounce, it hurts so much more than when it breaks on you.
True.
Oh, for sure, 120%.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
But I always
And-
chalk that up to being a bigger projectile.
Right. No, and I would think that too, but it's like those airsoft BBs, like they're pinpoint. They can get you in between the rib cage, and it's like, ooh, that hurt.
Damn.
Oh, I definitely feel that.
Yeah.
So-
No, I like to think I have like one of the cooler stories. It's like how many people like have you heard here that have grown up with their dad playing and are still continuing to play? Like back in the day,
Yeah.
it was a little bit more common, but like now, like I really can't think of it.
Yeah,
Like my
me
dad
neither.
grew up playing against so many people. Like he grew up playing against like Karl Markowski. Like he'd play the Polar Bear events. He grew up playing against Aaron Foley and stuff like that. Before he went pro and before he went to college, and a lot of those like bigger names in the Midwest.
Damn.
Not asking for my sake, but I'm just curious in general. Does it take a lot to make you upset, like on the field, if someone like overshoots you? Is that gonna get on your nerves, or
No,
what is
no,
it gonna take to get on your nerves?
truthfully, the other team can't get on my nerves. Like or at least I like to think that. Like cheating, I would say like cheating and them getting away with it, that gets on my nerves big time. Like I really don't like cheating. Like I've been instances where we've been cheated out, like to where like I started blowing up the refs, which I think you guys were there for that. That was the Tommy Guns event. So we're in the finals, and some stuff happened, and I started yelling at the refs and like really like blew my cool. And I've like from after that happened, like calm me down and stuff like that. It's like I'd rather my playing ability speak for everything versus letting stuff get to my head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
So then with all that said, what keeps you coming back to the field? What keeps you motivated to come back every single weekend and play season beyond season beyond season?
One of the biggest things, I could finally afford it. That was one of the biggest reasons why I have so many guns, is because I'm sitting there as a little kid like, oh, I want this gun, and it's like now I have the money to play and buy gear. Oh, count me in.
Yeah, I can't beat that.
Oh God, no. But truthfully, it's the people. Coming back year after year, the people, the environment, everyone's there to help everyone, and it's a really cool experience. Like for someone that passed away, local to Annandale, but Brian Gurley, he says, it's not paintball friends, it's paintball family, and when he says that, like, that really sticks with me, because like I think that's the truest sentence there is. Like, it truthfully is like a family oriented thing. Like, regardless of, oh, I met you, maybe last season, but we're still like, I would consider you, close friends and stuff like that. And like, I want to hang out with you, and like, I want to play you. I want to shoot you, and I want you to shoot me, type of thing. But it's definitely a very family oriented, especially in Minnesota, which I think is the coolest thing.
Yeah, no, I would
Yeah.
100% agree.
Well, we see a lot of people we interview. They always say the same thing. It's the community or the people.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, if you can give your 2 cents into this, why isn't paintball growing?
Right. I think because it takes one bad experience to ruin it for 10 other people. So for every one bad experience, there's 10 people that aren't going to play paintball. But for
Ooh.
every one good experience, it'd be vice versa. Like, one good experience, you have a birthday party, everyone has a good experience. That could be 20 people that want to come play again. So it's a very back and forth battle between good and bad experiences, and like, I think it's just the most important thing, like, to make sure people have a good experience and really enjoy their time while playing, and maybe giving them the options where it's like, oh, their guns, running out of air, or they're running out of paint. It's like, give them paint, or granted, it costs money, and not everyone can do that, which completely understand. But like, maybe like, oh, their gun's not working, like, here, use my gun and see how you like it. And then it's like, oh, they go to their parents, and they're like, oh, I want to get my own gun, like, this is what I want to do now. And
Yeah.
they go home, they go to school, and they get to tell those good stories, those really good stories. And it's like, it'll bring that just another person to come back and play and have that good experience, and just keeps inspiring more and more people to come and play.
Mhm.
And then, like, along with it, like, to go mainstream, it's really difficult, because it's hard to see when people get shot. And I like this 3-man direction that we're going for, like, the professional scene and stuff like that. But I feel like they have to have more story to it. There has to be more heart in it. Like, granted, us as paintball players that have been around it for quite some time, like, you know the teams, you recognize the players, and you understand the story. But like, to those average people that come in, and like, they just see paintball, and they know paintball as, oh, you're playing in the woods, or you're playing on like mounds, or you're playing in like hyperball tubes and stuff like that. They don't know our side of paintball to you guys are playing on inflatables, like bouncy house inflatables. Like, I've had that asked. Um, but to get more story and heart in it, like, if you look when paintball was in its boom, the amount of magazines there were, like, the amount of movies and DVDs. Granted, I mean, we're all streaming now. There's hardly any DVDs, but just how many movies and different films are coming out for that stuff. I think, like, that is kind of really what propelled that era of paintball to succeed. It's just because of how much media there was covering it.
Right.
I have a somewhat of a hot take. And I think that the growth of paintball was at the same time where punk rock,
Yes.
like, it was punk rock, like teenager bands,
Rage
or
Against the Machine. I mean, like,
Rage Against the Machine, or
yeah.
Blink 182, or
Mm-hmm.
Sum 41, like those type of bands. Like, though, that's when paintball was at its highest. And once those guys started
Yes.
dying off, I feel like that's when paintball also started dying off.
Right. That the rebellious age kind of cut back. I mean,
Yeah.
statistically speaking, paintball is still the safest form of adrenaline. It is.
Yeah, dude, we just got to get kids smoking cigarettes again. No, I'm just kidding. Don't put that in.
Oh my gosh. Yep.
That's crazy. I can't believe you said that. Logan, what do you do on the off season to keep your paintball wits about you?
Dude, if I'm gonna be completely honest, this season I haven't done a whole lot, and I'm really upset. Like, we were able to play the indoor siege tournament in January, which that was a blast. I mean, that was the first time I had a gun in my hand since World Cup. But this year, coming off of or going into a new career in like a full-time position, being a snowplow driver, I'm on call constantly, and this year was a little bit more of a snowy year, I guess we could say. So I mean, there's a lot of times where it's like I was working. Like, there's a day where I worked almost 14 hours, if not more. Like, I had my normal work shift. I got called in at 8 o'clock, and I didn't get to leave until 8 o'clock the next morning.
Jesus.
Yeah. So
Well, now I know who to bitch at when
I would like to do
roads
more.
aren't plowed.
Yeah.
hey, Justin, south of the cities. I don't go all the way up there.
Still.
Okay, then I won't call you then. Still, yeah, you're gonna come up here.
I'm knowledgeable at least. No, if only people could learn how to drive in the snow, and we wouldn't have this problem.
That's also true.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth?
Yeah,
Got a two-way
So,
street here, and
theoretical
everyone's trying to
question
go
here.
the same way.
theoretical. All right.
Theoretical question. JT has got a bunch of money, he wants to throw it in on the field. What kind of amenity do you want at Annandale to
Amenity,
better
okay.
your life or situation at Annandale?
So not another field. Okay. Indoor playing facility, like a full-size indoor playing facility.
No, an amenity. Yeah, that was my answer. You can't take my
right.
answer.
I know. I wish. I wish. But, an amenity. Gosh, I really don't. I don't know. I love Annandale Play. Like their field's great. I love it. But I mean, probably a common answer. I mean, indoor bathrooms. I mean, it's not life or death for me. I can go into Porta John all day. I mean, it sucks once in the really hot days, and it's like, ooh, somebody had some business in here. So probably, I guess, an indoor or bathroom.
Okay, yeah, because we've heard showers.
Or showers. Ooh,
Like a
I
shower
also
locker
wouldn't mind
room.
like a better viewing area. So like in a better viewing area to where you can kind of perch up and you can go and spectate, but you're able to see all three fields. So almost like kind of how JT has the box up to where like he has a scoreboard and stuff for the airball field.
Yeah.
But having that option to be able to do it for both the battlefield and the city as well as the speedball field for spectators.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, because I feel like he's got.
Granted, it's not an amenity.
Yeah,
But-
I feel like he's got some room to play with if he wanted to do something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Do you know?
And I know it's not an amenity, but it's my hot take.
Yeah, no, I definitely and I've been curious to like how much of that property does JT actually own?
Yes. Yep.
And I'm just like, it's like, is it ever possible that we could like get a second airball field? Like that takes a lot of money, and
Get us a
it's wishful
10-man field.
thinking. Yeah, it's
10-man
wishful
field.
think. It's wishful thinking, but like I'm
Yeah.
like, if you ever had the opportunity, would you do it? And I want to ask him that question when we interview him.
Oh, that'll be a really good one. That's when you have all those in your pocket. And you're like, oh, this is what I want at the field. How can you make it possible?
Put him on the spot.
I got a wish list. I got a wish list from everybody who's not been on the podcast.
Exactly.
That's funny. What's your biggest pet peeve when it comes to paintball? It could be like what people do or like how people do a certain thing. What's your biggest pet peeve?
I don't really know. Well, okay. My pet peeve, at least for myself, I don't know, like regardless if I'm doing a drill, and this is just for me, regardless if I'm doing a drill, playing a point, I always have to make sure my air tank is full. So I'll get off the field and fill it. We'll sit and be like, oh, we're going to go out and play again. I'll fill it again. So there's that. Or like, if I'm looking at pet peeves of stuff that annoys me, and it's like, oh, you're really doing that? People taking their mask off on the field. That's so annoying. Like, granted, like that's more in the recreational side of play compared to like tournament style. But I enjoy playing recreational, like especially like when JT hosts the mission games, or even at Splat Tag. This happened at Splat Tag too. I was playing one of the Jungle Rumbles, and there's people taking their mask off while the game's going.
What the heck are you doing?
Right. So like that's definitely a pet peeve, and I mean that's also the biggest safety rule is just keep your mask on.
Right.
Yeah, not a lot of people know this, but I'm not trying to plug myself, but I'm a firearms instructor, and so when it comes to safety rules, I am very anal about it.
Very.
And that applies to paintball too. And it's just like I'm always a stickler for rules, and it's just like if you don't follow them, I'm gonna be an ass. I'm sorry.
Yes. Like, and you have the people that'll sit there and like the party fouls is what I like to call them, or you'll hear like test pops and stuff like that, where it's like guns on, airs on, and you're not on the field. At least you have your barrel bag on, but it's like, oh, you didn't disengage the air or turn off your gun. I don't know.
Yeah, even
Granted,
though
I think test pops happen to everyone.
oh,
Yeah,
eventually,
then
eventually.
guilty.
Mm.
Guilty's charged.
But even though Keegan says like if you're not following the rules, he's gonna be an ass. He's such a nice guy that him being an ass still comes off as him being nice.
Truthfully, have the Minnesota nice in you.
Yeah, literally.
Well, I appreciate the kind words. I'm not gonna be as nice this year. That's for damn sure.
I hope not.
Good.
But
I want to see that mean side. I want to see it out on the field.
hell yeah.
You gotta put that mean side against the Warbirds and just tear us up.
Especially Logan. Tear him up.
Tear him
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Off the break,
That
5
Logan
guns
guy
on
is
you.
terrible. That Logan guy is terrible. I'm joking. Do you? You may not know, and that's okay. But and if you're not allowed to tell me, that's fine. Do you guys? The Warbirds talk about what their plans are this year?
Yes, we have. I don't know if I can tell you guys. I assume. I mean, I think we're. I'd be okay to tell. I'll ask for forgiveness. Sorry, JT and others that are listening. But our plan for this year, so we're playing SEPs. We're not committing to a series just because, specifically last year we kind of had we had a hard time getting a consistent group of 5 guys or 6, 7 dudes to go play X-Ball. And because of that, we had to back out of our last event at the Max Series, which is really unfortunate. But we're gonna be playing some SEPs. We're planning on playing the 5-man stuff. Maybe staying away from the X-Ball just because if we do well at the first 5-man, we're gonna try and take the series and see if we can get the series prize, which is the entry into Cup, which would help us all out, just price wise.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We also have some plans to go play an ICPL. So we're gonna go play 10-man mech, which I'm very excited for. It's probably the event that I'm gonna try and get my dad to go play. And I think we're gonna play maybe even some mech events. We might go down to Nebraska, which is Jake is from, and he wants to go play down at the fields down there and stuff like that. And regardless if it's mech or if it's like a 3-man electronic tournament. But we're gonna kind of I guess commit to the SEPs 5-man series, but also play a lot of pop-up events. Like we might play the UMPPLs as well at their new location. So
That'll be sweet.
We've got so much nice things to say about SEPs or SEEPs.
Yes,
however they say it. But Patty and the guys over at Edge Paintball, they really do put on a good tournament.
Yes, they do.
And I know you went there last year, so you already experienced with it.
Yep, it's very for as good as the competition is there, it's a very laid back and mellow tournament at the same time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really love the teams that come out. It's very competitive. It's at times there's 1 or 2 or 3 teams that seem to always dominate, but that's no matter what sport you're playing in, it's always going to be the select few of groups who are always going to dominate. But it gives other teams an incentive to, hey, we're going to take these guys out this year and push over that hurdle and make yourselves feel like you're champions of that little SEPs league. So it's I like what they're doing, and it's kind of sad that we are not going over there.
I know when so many local teams are now going over and playing the SEPs finally.
Yeah, it's just like no, now we get to actually play you guys, have the opportunity to play you guys, but we're going on the EXO instead.
Yeah, the only team we got to play
I'm
there
really
was...
excited for you guys.
Did we even get to play you guys at the SEPs last year?
Yeah, I think we did. Oh, did you get no? Yeah, no, I think we did get to play you guys.
I know you guys.
I think you guys were one of our last prelims games.
I know you guys played against Tommy Knockers, or were they playing with?
That's the tournament that Dave and RJ.
Okay, so they're playing with us.
Who joined us?
Man, I don't remember that point against you guys.
I don't either. I just know Sean tore it up that weekend. He was playing really good. Shout out, Sean.
Shout out, Sean. Yeah, no, I remember you guys having a pretty rough start to that SEP series, and then you guys brought it back and ended up taking a podium spot.
Yeah, and that was a well-needed podium because that was shortly shortly after we had kind of found out that we were not playing the last Max event. So being able to go into World Cup with a podium finish was just huge for morale, like all
Right.
around the board for those guys going to Cup.
Right. Anything to boost that ego.
Yeah, right.
What's it like for those who haven't been to the World Cup? What's it like going there? And I know it's probably a loaded question, but if you have a rundown.
Everything that you think it is, it is. I mean, growing up and watching like all the old, like whether it's the NPPL or the PSP and like seeing those World Cups, like I would say it's probably a little bit more mellow than what it used to be in the early 2000s, the mid to early 2000s, but it is still so worth it to go and see like all the talent. And like you watch and like you're walking just down the main strip and you go, oh my god, that's a pro player, oh my god, that's Tyler Harmon, oh my god, there's Oliver Lang right there, like that's the Oliver Lang. And it's just like they're mingling and interacting with everyone. It's like it's such a cool experience. And for me, being a gun whore, I love going to all the booths and being like, oh, what can I trade to get this gun? Like, can I make a deal with you? I think every cup that I've gone to, I've came home with a different gun.
Damn.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad.
Is this like stands that you go into and like, or not stands, but like tents that you go into?
Yep. Yeah. So
Canopies?
yeah, a lot of the so like Planet Eclipse and like GI and like those bigger name companies and stuff like that, they'll have like big tents and booths and stuff like that. Like the Planet Eclipse and GI booth always have air conditioning, so it's like if it's really hot and you need air conditioning, you go to the Planet or the GI booth and you can cool off for a little bit.
200
Other than that,
IQ
it's just
player
like
right
a
there.
lot of
Thank you.
canopies.
Yeah, dude. So now everyone knows.
Yep, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Go to the PE booth, and I mean PE or GI, which are, I mean PE. I love PE guns, I really do. But the AC there. But other than that, it's just like a ton of canopies everywhere. Like there's a lot of smaller, whether it be like smaller companies, and like the more of those niche stuff. So like there's a new tank company there, or you had like Defy that had a smaller booth, Punisher's PB that had a smaller booth. Like there's a lot of, I mean, a lot of the big names that you hear, but are maybe smaller, like the core, like GIHK and like Planet and Die and stuff like that. Like you're pretty much gonna find them and you get to meet all the people, whether if you're watching the videos and stuff like that online, and you get to like meet and hang out with them and kind of interact with them. So it's a really cool experience, and I recommend it for everyone to go at least once.
That's super cool,
Yeah.
actually.
Whether yeah, even if you're not playing, it's like it's worth the trip out there.
I love I know my wife loves to go out to Orlando. We like to go to. We've only been there once, but she wants to go back, and Kissimmee is
Yeah.
not too far away. Not too far away.
Nope, not far at all. No, not at all. No.
What gun, or I can't say, I don't want to say gun, but what marker are you looking to get next? What, you have your eye on something that you want to get?
I mean, like, so I just recently got the Twister R5 and I shot that at the Siege indoor tournament and it shot money. Like it shot great. I love my, but I also love my CS3 Pro. I love the shot quality of the CS3. Like those were like CS3 is probably one of my, if not my favorite gun that I've ever shot, whether it's the Pro or just the normal CS3. Just absolutely great. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting a Twister CS3, or if eventually like a Project CS3 Pro comes out, like I'd be intrigued. And at heart, I'm a big Die fanboy. Like I've always wanted like a DM15, specifically for the reason that like so I could have my dad's DM5, then also have a DM15, so I have a high-end Die marker 10 years apart from each other.
Yeah,
that'd be sweet.
So I'm looking at that, or like an older Geo, like getting like a Geo2 or something like that, and just having like a workhorse that hopefully the solenoid doesn't go out. That probably would just eventually become a wall hanger.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of ideas up here, but we'll see if they happen.
For sure. So playing up in the Midwest and not being able to play all year round, or being limited to how much you can play year round, how does all that affect you? What do you do?
Well, I wish I could play year round. Like I wish we had an indoor field that was NXL like regulation sizes. Like I love splat ball. It's great that we have an indoor field at least that we can go and get our hands on our guns again, before in the off season and stuff like that. But during the season and when we have the good weather, and especially if we have good weather, because it can be really rainy sometimes, or it can be really hot, or it can even be really cold. But it's just not taking those days for granted and really getting the moments out of it, and just like putting in the work to make sure that it pays off in the end. And I will say I'm envious of all these different places that get to play year round. Like it sucks. Like I wish we could play year round. I really do, and I would if we could. But I really tried during the season trying to make sure that I'm there or playing paintball, or at least having a gun in my hand, or sorry, marker in my hand every weekend, and just going over the movements, doing the stretches. Or if I don't get to play that weekend, it's watching videos, watching games, watching what pros are doing, and like how I can improve my game on myself. And I do that in the off season, and it gets me really excited. Like in the off season, you're sitting there watching those highlight reels from like all the events this is last season. But then like for me, a lot of fun to go and see just how much paintball has changed, and watch like even just like 2016, like a PSP, like or not PSP, but an NXL Atlantic Open, and from 2016, and just see how much it's changed. And it's like, oh, you can pick out those details, that something, it just gets you really excited for when the season does finally get to start again, by just watching all those videos and just keeping that mind fresh of paintball, and thinking about paintball, and thinking of what you can do to be better at paintball.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Switching, I mean, it's kind of related, but what does it take for an individual to like, step up their game to the next level where they're gonna take paintball seriously, and like they're gonna go start doing tournaments, and like pledging themselves to do tournaments, and going all in on paintball as a sport? What do you think what it takes for a person to do that?
Having your own gear, I mean, that's the biggest thing. I mean, we're grateful to, I know JT, he has some lender guns, so it's like if he didn't have a gun, or if he had a gun go down at a practice and he didn't have a backup, he'd lend you a gun, and you'd have something to use to practice. But just finding a group of guys that you want to be around, and like that you want to travel with, and you want to like succeed with, and go through that hard times where it's like, man, we're getting our ass kicked every single practice, every tournament we go and try and play, we're getting our ass kicked. But just taking that grind and just grinding it through, and improving together as a team, to get that mentality together and work through it together, and eventually mesh well, and work through that upbringing of finally when it starts to click, and it's like, oh, we're starting to do better. Granted, we might not be podiums yet, but we're middle of the pack now, and then you're getting better and better each tournament you play and each practice you play. And I'm very much like, I had the advice given to me by one of my buddies that said, drills should be done in your own time. So, whether it be open play and just you work on the fundamentals, or you work on drills, out on the airball field by yourself. But if you have 5 guys to play point, or like 10 guys to play points with, they should be getting as many points as you can, because of all the different game scenarios there's going to be, and you're going to have all different. Every point is going to be different. Granted, the outcome might not be, but every point within itself is going to be different in some way or shape or form.
Gotcha. I like that. So I asked you what your best moment on the field was. Do you have a low moment on the field? And then if you do, what did you do to turn it around?
Yes. It was actually at this last World Cup. So we're in the semifinals for the 3-man, and we were playing, and it was tied. I think we had a no point, and it was 1-1 for the time, so it went to one-on-ones. And I'm very grateful for the team. They wanted me to go out and play, but my record at tournaments for playing one-on-ones, and I don't mean to sound cocky here, but like, I hadn't lost a one-on-one in a tournament at that point. Like, losing in practice all the time, absolutely. Like, people can fucking kick my ass, but that was the first one-on-one that I've ever lost at a tournament. And the taste of maybe winning World Cup, and just like winning World Cup, like, just went down the drain. And truthfully, I had to walk away from the team, and I had to cry. Like that, one of my lifelong goals is I want to win a World Cup. Like, that is something I think every player, once they get into tournament play, is like, I want to go to World Cup and win it. And like, I had to step away, and I had to give myself time, to kind of recoup myself and get back in and be like, I still have another series to play, and we can still get third. Like, granted, I really wanted that first, but the third at a national event was still really cool to experience, let alone having it be World Cup.
Yeah, it takes a lot to be vulnerable in those types of situations, and just to let it all out. And sometimes you have to let it out in order to recoup.
Yes.
So I could definitely see how you went through that, and how rough it was. Because,
Nope.
yeah.
And having the weight on the team there, and just not being able to deliver, like, and grateful, like, and they told me, it's like, I would, they tell me to this day, it's like, we wouldn't have had anyone else, like, wanted anyone else out there. And it's it's nice to hear that, but it haunts me. It really does, because
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that was the moment. Like, that could have been it.
Yeah, I have a
Yeah.
similar situation, not exactly as intense, but a similar situation. Tournament 1v1, lost it. Yeah, not so fun.
It drains you. It really does. It deflates the balloon. It's like, oh, really, that just happened. But
Right.
you bounce back from it, and thankfully we were able to get third, and we got third to the national X Ball event. Like, that was sweet.
Hell yeah, good for you guys. That's dope.
Yeah. When JT also, or yeah, no, so I'm sorry, JD. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. JD was talking about the World Cup experience when we interviewed him on our second episode, and it was it was awesome to get to see you guys do that.
Yes.
And to get Minnesota ball, recognized around the world. It's
Right.
not it's not just like NXL event, it's World Cup. And so having a
Mhm.
team from Minnesota go down there and play a 3-man and get third place is freaking huge for us.
Right. Oh,
Not just for you guys, but for the rest of us too.
absolutely. I think there were 62 teams that played in our division for 3-man. I want to say like 62. I know there was for sure 60, but we only lost, like, oh my God, like, it was me, Jake, and Tony, and then JD was suited up just in case we were getting tired. Which, I mean, oh my God, like, honestly, the reason why we did so well is because of our pit crew. Like, JD, Andy, like, JT was there for a decent bit, but our pit crew, like, they are on top of it the whole entire time. I think that's the whole reason why, like, we kind of implemented some new things at Cup, which we had never done prior to the season, and it helped us out tremendously. Like, I think we only lost one prelim game for 3-man.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's huge.
You talking about one game or series?
No. So it's a round robin. So you play 8 different teams. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, it'd be one game, because you play against 8 different teams.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, only losing one game.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Or sorry, we went 6-1-1. I forget we tied one. Sorry.
But yeah,
it was
we
were just
ties aren't a loss.
yeah, we were on point, and it was really cool to see us click like that.
Right. Good for you guys, man. That's huge.
Just imagine how many teams are there that get to play year round. That statistically should be better than any team from Minnesota.
Right.
But you guys show up and fucking kick their ass.
Dude, it's awesome to know that we're able to compete with those teams that do get to play, year round. And it's awesome to see that, and we're grateful for it. Like, one of the coolest things too, like, at least I remember from that, is that in the finals game for the consolation finals, playing for third and fourth, like, one of the guys on the other team only had one arm.
Oh wow!
What the
and
hell?
I thought that was the coolest shit ever, because I'm like, damn. And he was a fucking baller, dude. Like, he was good.
That'd be insane.
Like, having one arm, right? Just was insane. But like, it was really cool to be a part of the roster that was able to, like, compete with a lot of those guys that that get to play year round. And I'm very thankful for that, and I'm happy to be a part of that. And as much as it sucks not being able to play year round, I'm really happy that I'm a part of Minnesota in that Midwest paintball scene.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. And not only that, man, I mean, for what you guys were able to do out there, that just makes it more intriguing for Midwest, higher up Midwest paintballers to really go out and try just balling out and doing something like you guys did.
No, absolutely. And it's like, a lot of the teams that like we lost to, like, or I want to say the team that we lost to in the semifinals was a team that was able to play year round, but also had D3 players. Like all of us are ranked D4 on that line, and who won was, I mean, the two teams above us had D3 players, and then also the team that won Cup for our division had Mike Bianca on their team, which at the time was the coach for Dynasty.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yep.
Hey man, y'all
How's
so
that
balled
fair?
out.
won World Cup. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, how's that fair? Dang.
Still, man, props to you guys. That's huge.
Who is somebody who you would like to meet? You know, professional paintballer. It doesn't have to be a professional paintballer, but somebody in the paintball industry. Who that you'd like to meet, and what would you ask them?
Oh gosh. Honestly, I would probably have to be Matty Marshall, and you just asking him kind of what has kept him in the game for as long as it has. You know, regardless. Like, granted, he doesn't play professionally anymore, but I mean, he was playing professionally, you know, well for a very long time. You know, before the ego came out, like he was shooting like the e-cockers and stuff like that. But to ask him like what has kept him in this game for as long as it has, and to kind of get like more insights onto, you know, maybe the spectator side and the casting side of paintball as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I'd
would
love
be really
to
cool.
hear his
Actually,
answer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dang, that's there's a lot. There's a lot of as an individual, you always think you know what you're gonna ask somebody. Like if you ever get the chance to meet somebody, you're like, oh man, like
Right.
what was it like doing this? But there's everybody else has a different question that you're like, dang, that's a really good question to ask. And I just always
Yes.
am like gladly
Right.
surprised and shocked that people have spent a lot of time thinking about this, and like, you know, they're shooting their shot trying to ask the question, and like to hear the response is just the wisdom that everybody is looking for.
Right. Nope. And like, and another reason why I love World Cup is just like being able to go and meet those pros. Like I was able to talk with Oliver Ling, and I asked him like for, I think it was after the 2015 season, like why do you retire? Like why'd you retire from paintball the first time, and like what made you come back to it? And that, like, he had it. I couldn't tell, like, that's a really long story he gave me, but like that, hearing that and being able to like interact with, like, growing up, it's like Oliver Lang and Dynasty, like, yep, that's go Dynasty. Like I've been a lifelong Dynasty fan and stuff like that, but like it was surreal being able to meet like the Oliver Lang.
right?
Yeah, that must have been crazy. That must have been crazy.
Yes.
You have any questions
Any
for us, Logan?
Gosh, no, not a question, but I just was like, this has been amazing what you guys have been doing. Like, again, it's putting Midwest paintball out there, and it's, you know, we're in the frozen tundra right now, and it's been really cool to kind of hear different stories and you know, get to hear stories from people that, you know, I've played against, but I never got to have a conversation with. And I just want to tell you guys, like, keep up the good work. Like, it's been a blast listening. Like, it's been great for when I'm driving the snowplow at work. I sit there, I throw on the podcast, I'm like, perfect. This will keep me occupied for at least an hour.
Awesome. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
I don't really have any questions. No.
Thank you, dude. Thank you.
It's people like you who give us the opportunity to tell the stories. So it definitely, it's not just us, it's the whole community. You know, we can only do so many people. Everybody has a unique story, and that's what we're just trying to do, is just grow the sport. We want to grow the sport, grow the community, and you know, it only gets done by listening and telling your guys' stories. So thank you for coming
absolutely.
on.
Yeah, for sure.
No,
Thank you,
for
I
having
really
me.
do
It's
appreciate
been
it.
a huge honor to be here, and it's like I'm very excited, you know, to share my story for a sport that I'm so passionate about, and I've been around for, you know, for for quite some time. You know, granted, you're not playing for as long, but you know, I'm happy to get it out there, and I can't wait for other people to hear my story as well, and you know, maybe relate to some aspects, and you know, and be able to hear that. So I'm very excited for what you guys are doing, and can't wait to see what else is happening.
Yeah, man. It was great listening to you talk about stuff. I mean, it's so cool listening to all these new stories and like how people got into paintball and how they grew in paintball. It's amazing to hear.
Yes. Oh, and it's not a cookie cutter. It's not like, oh, I started playing hockey when I was 4 years old or like 3 years old. My dad had me start skating. Like almost every story is going to be different, and I think that's one of the coolest things about the sport.
I agree.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, granted, a lot of people. I hate to be the devil's advocate here, but like a lot of people, like they always start playing
Birthday parties.
birthday parties and whatnot.
Yes.
And
Yep.
that's okay, but it's how they got like deep into paintball.
Yes, that's different. Yep.
And I love everybody's story. Everybody has a unique story, and I freaking love hearing people tell their story. And so, yeah, again, thank you for coming on. We appreciate your time.
Yes. No, thank you so much for having me. I've been happy to be here.
Yeah, we just have one last question for you, Logan. What's the most important thing to remember before going out onto the field?
To just fucking play.